Hello, everyone. This is Jake from Fife Paranormal, and I just wanted to sit and talk for a little bit casually about some of the stuff I've been working on, some of the stuff we've been doing here during the times of this pandemic. Now, I'm sure you've probably seen this all over social media that we are living in a truly historical time. You know, it's been roughly 100 years since the Spanish flu, I believe, of 1918 through 1920. So, this is something that we will be talking about for the rest of the century. We'll be telling our kids, our grandkids, and everyone about this. And I'm sure here in the future, 100 years from now, God forbid there's another pandemic, but I'm sure history books will mention 2020 and the loads of fun that this year was. Heavy sarcasm implied. But here at Fife Paranormal, we have been working on a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, a lot of the locations are shut down. Even, unfortunately, I know locations across the world have unfortunately had to close permanently because of loss of revenue, not able to keep up the bills. And it's very sad to see places close, especially for something that, no one can really control. But yeah, a lot of the locations, especially here in Virginia, have been kind of closed. And here, as I'm making this video, it's June 30th. And they're starting to open back up, but they still have the restrictions, such as you need to wear a mask, practice social distancing, that kind of stuff. Which I'm honestly fine with that, but I know some people have issues with that because when you're back on an investigation, there are a lot of situations to where you are in close quarters with people, and then doing an EVP session, it's kind of hard to understand what the person's saying. The human living people asking questions if they have the mask on. So it's a very frustrating time for not just paranormal investigators, but for everyone, period. But that doesn't stop us researchers from doing our work. And what I mean by that is we can always go through old case files. We can always look at old cases in history. We can work on research projects. We can do, videos like this where we just kind of give updates on what's going on, what we plan on doing once things start opening up, and, future content. So just because you can't investigate a location, it doesn't mean that that's the end, that, you just kind of stop being an investigator. Far from it. Like I said, here lately, I have been working on several videos about more location spotlights. And I really want to get out and do more investigation videos. And I'm sure, when you subscribe to a paranormal channel, you expect investigations. I know that's kind of that's kind of like the cream of the crop for an investigation channel. I know that's one of the reasons I subscribe to other paranormal channels is because, I want to see investigations. I don't want to see location spotlight after location spotlight. And we are trying to get some locations in line to where we can investigate them hopefully soon. I do have a few that I'm talking to that we might be able to investigate here in July. So stay tuned for that. I'm really excited about that. Especially one of the locations is one that I've heard about for a while. I've really wanted to check out for a long time up in West Virginia. But I am working on some investigation stuff, mainly spirit box session videos. The only issue that I've really run into is a lot of the cemeteries in my general area. I'm talking about within like a 25, 30-minute radius. I've investigated them all. I've been to them. I know the biggest one in our county, our area, in terms of paranormal reputation is the Thorn Rose Cemetery. And I've done several videos already on the Thorn Rose Cemetery. And it's weird because, you look up the Thorn Rose Cemetery, there's a lot of stories about people seeing shadow figures, hearing voices. There's even, I believe, YouTube videos where people have active spirit box session videos there. And they have some really cool stuff happen to them. But every single time I've been there to investigate, which has been, off the top of my head, I think it's 3 or 4 times I've investigated, I have had nothing happen. I've had, the last time I went, which was filming for a series that was very short-lived. I decided to, drop back and punt on 4th down on that one. But I think maybe over the course of that 12-minute video, I had like 3 or 4 good voices come through. And that's the most active session I've ever done at that cemetery. There is another cemetery that's on actually a Civil War battlefield. And I've only been there once to investigate, and I just really didn't get a paranormal vibe from it, which, that doesn't mean that cemetery isn't haunted. It's just every time I go there, it doesn't strike me as a place where spirits would be. And I know in the paranormal field, spirits are always at places that you least expect them. But there's certain locations when you go to, you can just feel the energy, and especially after you're there for a while and you're familiar with the baseline energy of a location, That way you can detect changes for if a spirit shows up. If you get to a certain area that's more paranormally charged than others, you can make notes like that. But at a place like this, I really didn't get that vibe from it. And that's fine. Not every cemetery that you go to is active. So I've been looking at a few other locations around here, not just cemeteries. There is one place that's actually a part of a park. And I've thought about going up because I can't get inside because obviously it's shut down, it's locked and stuff. I could go onto like the porch or something or be on the grounds and maybe communicate with the spirits there. So that would be kind of cool to do. But aside from that, I am looking into doing more videos kind of like this where I sit down and just talk about what we're doing. I know a lot of the content on our channel is about stuff in history. It's either historical videos, famous cases, investigators, or we'll share, top 10 EVPs, top 10 spirit box clips, or we'll do mini docs, like 20 to 30 minute things on a location. And those are fun. I like doing those. It's just, after you do something so many times, it starts to feel a little stale, a little boring. So that's why I'm wanting to branch back into doing more investigation stuff because, that's when it comes to paranormal, the paranormal field, that's my passion, is being out there investigating. Even if something doesn't happen, it's still great to be out in a historical place or even somewhere, like a cemetery that's very calm and peaceful. Typically, you're the only one there, especially now with the pandemic. People aren't really out as much as they were. So you go to a place, here in Virginia, we have a lot of cemeteries that are kind of isolated. They're not like in the complete middle of nowhere, but they're pretty close to the middle of nowhere. And so when you're there investigating, it's really cool because you just hear nature, you hear the birds, you hear crows, occasionally there'll be like a vehicle go by, but it's pretty much just you and the location and nature. And I think that gives you a better connection to the environment. And then also the environment gets a better connection to you. And that might help paranormal activity, happen. I don't know exactly how that would work, but that's just my thoughts on that. So I've been looking for more locations like that. I also thought about heading back to close to Desjardins, as close as you can legally get, and doing a follow-up spirit box session because that place is insane. I've said it 100 times and I'll say it 101 more times. That place is insane. Every single time I've done a spirit box session near there, it's been intense. And there's been a lot of crazy stuff that's happened. So I might do that. And I'm also thinking of live streaming a spirit box session the next time I go there. So leave your thoughts in the comments what you would like to see me do next in terms of Desjardins content, whether or not you'd like to see me do like an updated historical pick on it, because when I did the one that's on our channel, it's actually our most popular video on the channel, I believe. That was, I think, October 31st of 2018, or 2017 or 2018 is when that was. I'm pretty sure it's 2018, which, that's 2 years ago pretty much. And since then, I've learned a lot more. I have a lot more footage that I can use so that it's less, Ken Burns, documentary, and it could be more of like a full-on paranormal style documentary, which is kind of what I'm wanting to get into, which there's nothing wrong with the slideshow documentaries. I know pretty much all of ours are that, but I also like being a visual person, not just visually as in still images, but having moving images, because I think with a moving image, you can see the location as it is in that time, the time the footage was shot. And I think it can give you a better impression of a location's energy and look than a still image, because a still image can be manipulated, and a moving image, of course, can be manipulated, but I think you get a better sense of the environment and of the energy from video than you do photos. So I'd love to hear your all's thoughts on that. And like I said, this video is not very structured at all. I actually do not have a script for this one. I was listening to music on YouTube, and I just got the idea to ramble for a little bit, so that's probably why there's all these pauses and stuff. And, I could clean it up and make it professional sounding, but there's something about that just seems dishonest. If you have too polished of an image, I think that is something that's possible, is to be too polished to where you lose your relatability and you lose a bit of the rawness, which, I think in the paranormal field, I think you need to maintain some of that rawness. And I know there are a lot of probably dirty jokes you can make with that, but let's not do that. This is a grown-up show. Yeah. So That's kind of what we're looking into doing here. I know Chris has some ideas. He'd like to go back to doing some more of our experiment videos, which I think is an awesome idea. And hopefully we'll be doing that soon. But I would like to hear your all's thoughts and comments on what you would like to see and hear us do next. Would you like to see us do more videos kind of like this? I know we had the Fife House podcast for a while. And, that was loads of fun to do. The hour-long podcast where we talked about our experiences, our investigations, our thoughts on different things, equipment, that kind of stuff. And I'd love to hear if you all would like to see us do a more updated version of that where we talk about our experiences. If you'd like to, almost do like a full-on podcast kind of thing where weekly we post an episode where we talk about investigations, locations, investigators, all sorts of paranormal topics. So thank you all for tuning into this video. I hope you all have enjoyed it as much as I have making it. Once again, this is Jake from Fife Paranormal. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoy this. Comment your thoughts below onto, all the questions I asked in the video, which at this point, 10 minutes in, I've completely forgotten. Sorry about that. And like I said, leave a like if you enjoy the video. Comment below what you'd like to see us do next. Subscribe for more. And don't forget to share this video. Let's get the word out. Let's get the hype train going. This is a huge summer. We're going to have some really cool projects going. I can't wait to share the details on them. So once again, you all have a great day, everyone.